Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Gustafson, and I'm glad you're a part of this 7-week American National Government class. I wanted to take just a few moments to go over the syllabus and to familiarize all of you with the information. Glad to have you with us. I've been teaching at LMC for over 10 years now, and I really enjoy this material. But best of all, I enjoy all of our students. My only regret in this 7-week class is that I'm not able to connect with you personally in a classroom. But that's okay, we're gonna learn a lot together. Just remember, this is a compressed class, so we're compressing 15 weeks into 7, right? So you gotta kind of hit the ground running with this course. And so I encourage you, hopefully you've already gone to the bookstore, to get the textbook for this class. It's an electronic textbook called We the People by Thomas Patterson. And so you should be able to get a code, access the code, and then put that in, and you should be able to get the e-text. You can read a lot of the information in the syllabus. I'm not going to go over all of the specific details or minutia of all the policies, other than just remember this: there are no late assignments. So if you turn in something late, you're not going to get credit for it. So you have to stay on pace with this material. And so the grading criteria for the class is that you're going to have 3 exams. They're not comprehensive. There are 17 reading assignments connected to the textbook, and then there's quizzes. Again, there's 17 chapters in the electronic textbook. I don't believe you have I'm sorry, let me back up. I do not believe you've got a quiz on the first chapter, but you do have a reading assignment for the first chapter. And then you have quizzes from chapters 2 through 16. I've set it up within the textbook that you can work ahead. And in fact, I would advise that you do that, and that if you want to get the reading and some of the quizzes done earlier, please do so. That will be to your advantage. And so some weeks you're going to have 1, 2, or 3 chapters you need to read and do the material, the quiz for. Others, I think there's one particular week where there's 4 chapters. So again, I would highly suggest you start reading ahead and working on the material. The great news about the reading assignments and the quizzes is that it's all open book, right? And so you can take as much time as you want. Here's the deal though: once you open a quiz, you must finish the quiz. Don't close the quiz and then come back, okay? What I've found with many of my students is if they do that, they only get the points that they have at the moment they close their computers, okay? So in theory, you should be able to go back in. But in practice, what we've discovered is once you close in other words, if you end a quiz prematurely, you're not going to have the opportunity to go back and get the points. So once you open it, make sure you allot time to finish it, all right? And then on the 3 exams, these are closed book exams. In other words, no notes are allowed, and they're all timed. The first exam, I believe, is 55 questions. The second is 57. And the third is 62. And so they're timed between 55 minutes and about an hour that you're going to have to take them. And again, the reason they're timed that way is to incentivize you to not use your notes, because you're not going to be able to, because you're not going to have enough time to complete the material. So again, it's on your honor. And if you're like me, right, you want to do things on your honor, you want to be a person of integrity. You also, you're going to pay money for a course. You're actually cheating yourselves if you cheat, because you're denying yourself the opportunity to actually learn the material. And so I encourage you to do those, and you can read the syllabus yourself, but when you get to page numbers 8, 9, and 10, it shows you the different weeks and what's assigned. The required reading and quizzes are there. But I also have a number of supplemental readings. And what this is the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, the Federalist Papers, or some other supplemental material that I'm covering if I was giving the lectures that you can read. Again, you're not required to read them, but they are supplemental and they do help you for the exams. The other thing that I will be doing is probably the Friday before each week. So the first one will come this Friday, which will be what, the 13th, I believe. I will be sending you what is coming up that next week, links to video lectures that I made. This was about 5 or 6 years ago. It's still current material, but it's a bit dated. It was during COVID, so you might have a little fun and see what my hair looked like after from months where you couldn't get a haircut. But again, the lectures are there for you that want to watch them. My suggestion is that you'll definitely get a lot more out of this class, and it will certainly help you for the final exam or any exam. I will also send you the week before you have an exam a study guide that will help you go through the material. Finally, I will make myself available on Thursdays from 1 to 3 p.m. via Zoom. There's a Zoom link at the beginning of your syllabus. So I encourage you to check that out if you want to check in, got a question about something, please feel free to weigh in. So that's just a quick run through for the syllabus. I look forward to having you in this class. I really hope that you're going to learn a lot of this material, and this class is going to be a real benefit to you to understand, again, kind of the why behind the what of American national government. Welcome aboard.